Just checked it, wiki article's outdated, as I thought. Tied at home fighting. Whoops. That's what I wanted. Desert Fox, terrain trait. Terrain traits give bonuses to generals that fight in specific terrain. They can be manually assigned or gained through experience like basic traits. Field Marshal traits can only be assigned to Field Marshals. Field Marshals can also use regular traits, but their effects will be reduced while commanding more than one army. So yes, Field Marshals do benefit from these at least. Or is it only the earned ones? No, these are the ones you just get. These are the ones you spend experience on. You should really have Infantry Expert. Yes, this is after after the Waking the Tiger patch. This is the update after Waking the Tiger. So it has been updated for Waking the Tiger, and it's been updated twice. I think this is 0.6.3 to solve performance issues. So any of the performance issues that were there are gone. Yes, there is a new DLC for Stellaris coming out. I'm just gonna... Almighty Google, just bestow upon me your wisdom. Hoi for Field Marshal traits. No. Field Marshals using terrain trait. And let's sort that by any time in the past month. Yeah. Yeah, the wiki thing is definitely out of date. Actually, no it's not. Because it shows the planning, logistics and defense and all that factors. Ah, the text disappeared. Their traits are general buffs, helping any kind of unit. For example, the 10 hit thingies. They give those buffs to all generals under them. They can be used as generals. You can use command power to promote a general to Field Marshal, though he will lose 1 level, but keep all his traits. Yeah, this is not entirely updated. Oh yeah, straw poll. 84% we're going Pharaohs. 16% we're going the Islamists, so I think we're going the Pharaohs. Because I always envisioned the Islamic Golden Age to be more of an Iranian thing than a Egyptian, because it wasn't like the center of Islamic learning in Baghdad. Or in Andalusia, like Seville and Granada. Because during the European Middle Ages, the Islamic world definitely was going through a golden age, like loads of science and things happening there. Concentrated or dispersed? There's no reason to go dispersed. We're going to go concentrated. New national focus. Let's go ahead and protect our industry. Protecting Egypt's small and fragile industrial base is a task best undertaken without too much foreign competition. With the introduction of tariffs and inducements to buy Egyptian, we can show our support to our industrialists and aid them in weathering the economic storm. The Islamic Golden Age was very decentralized, yeah. It was pretty widespread too. Union Sindicalista achieves Italian majority. Fifth Congress of the Socialist Republic of Italy has come to a long stalemate. Might be something every Muslim tries to get their hands on. It's past glory of the Caliphate, kind of like the Rome in Europe. That's not a bad analogy, actually. Poland elects a new king. Frederick Christian Saski. Which one's that? Which way are you going to go, Poland? A Saxon king. They are going German. So Poland is likely to survive? Well, depending on how well Germany does. I think Poland's the most likely to survive if they go Austrian, actually. Protect industry. Okay, so let's go ahead and reopen the stock exchange. Allowing the Alexandria and Cairo stock exchange to remain closed any longer would be a mistake. The longer we keep one of Africa and the Middle East's most active stock markets closed, the more we risk its position as a hub of trading. Reopening the market will show our confidence in the emergency reforms we have pushed through, as well as allowing the recovery to begin. See you, Valinorian. Are the Ottomans harder or easier now, in my opinion? No idea. I suspect harder, because I think that the Egyptians are stronger and they do more to unite this area. Also, Iran certainly seems stronger. I've seen Iran absolutely kicking ass and taking names in the past couple of games. You can apparently hover over the field marshal icons in the theatre thingy to see what bonuses are applied. Okay. This doesn't tell you the terrain modifiers though, this just gives like the generic bonuses. Oh. We can go ahead and early mobilization. This should allow us to industrialize a little quicker. We've gained some more civilian factories. Oh, plus we've got civilian factories through our focus tree, so it's not entirely through just mechanizing, industrializing, mobilizing, that's the word. There are a fair few mountains. I'm trying to think what I want to focus on in terms of troops. I mean, special forces are actually relatively cheap. Having an air force would also be good. Should probably start working on the doctrine. Let's do grand battle plan. No, Shadowhawk, that was good. Like, I did not know that. It just didn't tell you about the terrain modifiers. Because if we go to him specifically, desert movement, attack and defense, that's all just in deserts. Our ideology has grown. We are currently social conservative. I mean, We were going, what, liberal, wasn't it? Constitutional monarchy, yeah. So I'm going to say no. Okay, stock exchange is reopened. We can now declare Black Monday as done. It seems our programs are beginning to pay off. While economies closer to the German sphere are embroiled in civil war unrest continue sluggishly, Egypt is already seeing a recovery in employment, economic growth. That was actually a really quick recovery. Well done, Egypt. So does promotion cost mean you get these traits cheaper? No. You actually get a lot of field marshal stuff. Crikey. This was a good choice. 30% more max entrenchment. Or less organisation loss when moving. I think the organisation loss when moving. I'm expecting this to be a more mobile war. Plus, we very often don't have time to actually entrench. Huzzah! Like my tea, resubscription for 2 months. Nice one, thank you very much. Appreciate your support. Huzzah! If you do Jabal Shammar, you can become the United Arab Emirates. Oh, cool. (1936) general election. Today is the long-awaited election of the Prime Minister of Egypt. This year's election is particularly tense as it comes on the heels of the ascension of Farouk in the role of Sultan. The four main parties, as before, are running their candidates. The question is, whom shall the people elect to be the Prime Minister? So the Liberal Constitution Party is the Social Liberals. The Waft Party are the Market Liberals. The Watani are the Social Conservatives, or the Ittihad are the Authoritarian Democrats. So these two are the monarchists, these two are the liberals. It's just whether we want the Liberal Constitutional or the Wafd. So Wafd are the Market Liberals, they're yellow. They're not social conservatives. It says they're all social conservative. They're not! So social liberals are the light colour. I think we're going to go market liberal. So Wafd. Can I go paternal or populist? No. The closest you can get is authoritarian democrat, which almost certainly would lead to the absolutist government, which I don't want to do. I'm going to go market liberal. This is something I've never done. Which one will lead you to being pharaoh? Social or market liberal? Either of them, I believe. Oh, and that immediately resolves a lot of my popularity issues too. Glorious. Black Monday is over! Huzzah! The civilian support for our ruling party has reached an average level. So we're going to gain some more political power as well. So let's start Farouk's reforms then. Because we still don't have anything else available. Sultan Farouk, though still a teenager, has a grand vision of a modern Egypt. This vision sees an Egypt that merges the greatness inherent in herself with the best parts of the Western ways of governing. To that end, he is exerting the considerable authority given to the Sultan to embark on a program of nation-building, extending and codifying the power of the Egyptian state over previously untouched aspects of life. I'm the first person to ever go market liberal. I doubt that. Hello, Requin. Market liberal, aka we support the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, but human is only whoever has money. Not really true. It's just you believe in the absolute power of the market. So if there's a market for it, then someone will probably fill that demand. Sorry, if there is a demand, then someone will probably fill that demand. Ghana. Please don't be avoiding the civil war. Is it Ghana that does it, or is it Curtis? It's Ghana, isn't it? Hey, Finsand. Yeah, I haven't played as Egypt before, and I really enjoyed the Ottoman game, so I'm hoping that this comes close. In fact, you need to have a commander as well, don't you? You're almost certainly going to be my tank commander. I think this probably will be Sabri. Old guard, which means you do entrench a bit more, and you are also the most defensive. So there you go. Elections in Italy. Prime Minister Alcide de Gasperi. Partito Popolare Italiano. Yes, the civil war can be avoided. The AI isn't very good at it, but it can be. Farouk's grand reforms. Today, Sultan Farouk has announced a reforming plan to bring Egypt into the modern age. His programs will cover nearly every aspect of Egyptian life, government and society. Various ministers and courtiers are already planning on trying to influence or manipulate the young Sultan to their advantage. So we gain more stability and more support. We can also start on a new focus. So let's start out with the judicial reforms. No, bureaucrat. So if I was reforming the government, where would I start? With the judicial reforms, I could basically rule that anything which I didn't want to be illegal isn't illegal. With the bureaucratic reforms, stuff would actually get done. And with the administrative reforms, we would get over corruption. With the bureaucracy. Day-to-day bureaucracy is required to run a modern state with any kind of efficiency. To that end, the hiring of officials must be overhauled to create a single system. Two camps are emerging, pushing different ideas. One calls for a meritocratic examination to be given, the other for pedigree and tradition to be respected. I wonder which one that'll choose. Is it weird I once saw the USA avoid the Civil War when the AI was playing it? It's not weird, I've seen it do it, just not very often. And I'm always disappointed when it does. Okay, we're only a month away from 37, so we're just going to wait. How often does political debate start in chat? Quite often. And I'm fine with it. Just golden rule, be nice. As long as you're nice with each other, then I'm totally cool with it. Kulthum begins singing for Radio Cairo. Today, the famous singer Kulthum began singing for Radio Cairo. This has helped boost the ratings of Radio Cairo as people tune in to listen to her singing. Even the young Sultan is enjoying her singing, and rumours persist of her singing for the royal family. More stability. AI is more likely to avoid the Spanish Civil War. Yeah, they did that in the Sardinia game. The Carlists got into power without the Civil War. Eid ul-Fitr. During the reign of Muhammad Ali, he demanded that the whole of Egypt know when Ramadan ends. To do this, he positioned a cannon to fire at the crack of dawn on the first day of Eid. Today, cannons can be heard throughout Egypt, from the cities to the countryside, as people prepare to celebrate the end of Ramadan. Eid Mubarak. Let's have some political power. Our ideology is growing. That is good. We are now market liberal. French legation leaves Egypt. The news from Cairo travels faster from Farouk's assurances. The French legation, based in downtown Cairo, have already begun to exit the Egyptian government. The Minister of Archaeology, even the Minister of Education, have all left the city. With them goes decades of work enticing the West with Egyptian myth and history. We shall have to find a way to replace them. Is this the good French or the bad French? Is this the French Republic or the other ones? am I doing for guns? Not great. Our production is still pretty low. We're still not even producing any artillery. Which is fine, because actually support equipment takes far longer to produce. Okay, as part of the reforms that Farouk is bringing about to Egypt, the nature of the bureaucracy has been brought up. The Liberals are pushing for a modern civil service system that is done on a meritocratic basis, while the Conservatives believe that civil servants should be appointed and heavily in favour of the nobility. Clearly civil service. Right, let's do the administrative and then judicial. Currently in Egypt, the state's power is based around notable locals, be they landowners or village headmen. This is an obvious area of priority for actually, no, I'm going to do judicial. Egypt's court system was innovative in 1875, however, jurisprudence has moved on. Now, with collaboration of jurists from the University of Cairo, Sultan Farouk intends to overhaul the legal process. This affords the various factions in the government to help influence exactly what that means. So restoring the pharaohs is also restoring the old religion. No, not necessarily. It's just saying that the older image of Egypt as a more religiously diverse nation, I think, is what it's basically saying. Did someone say Her Majesty's Civil Service? Yes, Humpy! Yes, Minister. Replacing the French ministers. With this political vacuum, King Farouk has the opportunity to fill positions previously out of his reach. The Egyptian parliament has proposed several members of the Wafd party to be appointed. These candidates will no doubt extend their secular pro-Western sentiment of their offices. Several associates of the Ittihad party have suggested that turning these offices into a unified ministry of propaganda could help unify the nation and help educate the populace about the glory of Egypt and the Muhammad Ali dynasty. We're going market liberal, so let the Wafd appoint their ministers. As much as I get a kick out of the idea of having a minister for propaganda. Yeah, it should be, to be fair. It's just so funny when you came up with that. Brilliantly timed as well. Oh, whoops, I've missed a few days. So, 37, let's get some more construction. Actually almost done with Alexandria. That's nice. We're actually getting surprisingly close to being able to mobilize again. There's nothing stopping me getting... Yes, there is. We don't have the war... Oh, we do have the war support. Yeah, we can get partial. Although I can change it to yes, Faro for this stream. Okay, judicial reform. As part of the reforms that Farouk is bringing about to Egypt, the question of the judiciary has come up. The Liberals believe that the judicial branch should be independent in order to make sure laws are properly enforced. However, the Conservatives argue the government should have an oversight of the judiciary. Independence. So let's go with the administrative. Currently in Egypt, the state's power is based around notable locals, be they landowners or village headmen. This obvious area of priority for the young Sultan. This is an obvious area of priority for the young Sultan, who aims to standardise administration into 4 dozen governorates. The question now becomes who should be appointed to each one, and how. That's Germany. Germany owns Suez. CSA has declared war on the USA. Okay, they did not avoid the Civil War. I was going to say, that is a tiny AUS. So far, Cairo Conference send out the invitations. The preparations for the Cairo Conference to help us gather allies to destroy the Ottoman Empire is now finished. With the preparations now finished, we should send invitations to the Arabian states, Yemen and Persia. Okay, it breaks out. USA declared war on the PSA. PSA are not very big. They didn't get their other provinces they sometimes do. USA is actually looking pretty decent right now. And they even got some uprisings in the AUS. Cairo Conference, Economic Aid Plan. One of our economic ministers, Makram Abeid, has brought up an economic plan to help the various countries that have attended. For if we are to defeat the Ottomans, we're going to need to help each other, modernise and improve our economies first. Especially with Black Monday crushing our economies, we are going to need to help each other. Idris speaks. The exiled of Libya, Idris, has given a speech about where he declared his opposition to the Ottomans and declared that he will support the members of the Cairo Conference, whom help him in reclaiming his throne. Cool. Dominican Republic and Haiti at war. Cairo Conference. How will the Ottomans be dealt with? Now comes the main argument the Cairo Conference was convened for. How should we deal with the Ottomans? We can propose dividing up the Ottoman territory between the various powers gathered here. Alternatively, we can propose creating new friendly states out of the ashes of the empire. Finally, we can announce our ambition to take all the land. I would say we split it amongst the various powers. Or the friendly countries. Obviously, announcing our ambitions is going to get us no allies. So we don't want to do that. Even if that is actually our ambition. We don't tell people this. We could say that we're going to create friendly countries, which would be puppeting Turkey and taking the rest. Or we can split it. I'm going to split it, because I think that's going to make Iran more likely to join us. Although Iran's actually socialist. Iran might not join us. Yeah, we'll divide it. Oh, threat has just gone up. Need another 4%. Come on, Spanish Civil War. Cairo Conference is over. The Cairo Conference is now over. Regardless of what has been decided at the conference, it was a grand celebration that shows the greatness of Egypt. Now comes the preparation for the future. Oh, I can do partial mobilization. Oh, it's war support, not world tension. Let's go ahead and do that. Serbia crowns King Alexander II. That's going to piss off Bulgaria and Austria. We are still producing naff all in terms of equipment, though. Probably because we just don't have enough materials for it. Syndicalism prevails in the Ukraine. After the Welsh Creek, Ukraine became a battleground between the pro-German Hetmanate and the Bolsheviks. Mako's Free Territory and many other armed groups. The Hetmanate prevailed, but it turned out to be unpopular amongst the Ukrainians. And after an agricultural crisis and the infamous Black Monday, this reached a breaking point. So the Commune now has an ally over in the east. I think something's wrong with the game. It's not showing the Rhine as France's national border. No, and it shouldn't. This is proving that it's not wrong. Governorship reform. As part of the reforms that Farouk is bringing about to Egypt, the question of governors came up. Liberals believe that governors should be elected, while the Conservatives believe they should be noble. However, a third option has come up. Appointed governors by the Sultan himself, selected through a meritocratic system. Oh, there's paternal autocrat. So yes, apparently it is possible to do that. But no, we're doing elected. And mechanical computing has finished. It's still March 37. We can still get these. We should probably get that one. And a new focus. I think we're going to do the legal reforms first this time. Laying down the new Egyptian civil code is a huge task, and it would be a much better idea to base the system on a pre-existing legal code. To that end, various jurists are advising the Sultan on different codes of law to see which takes his fancy. How are we doing with the market liberals? 52%. Not bad, not bad. Trench warfare is complete. That's very nice, but I would like to have improved machine tools.